job. It's nothing personal. I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
I love the violence. The violence is the best part of it. If there was no violence, then I wouldn't be bouncing. You know, I'd be fucking home picking flowers or something. After being there a couple of hours, you start to get tired when you're not doing anything. But the minute a fight comes about, man, it's like the adrenaline flows in there and you're fucking boom. When there's fights, I don't mind being there till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. When there's nothing really happening, I don't want to be there. The violence is what keeps me motivated.
Somebody asked me one time, how do you take a person out of the club? I said, quite easily. How's that? I said, unconscious. One shot in the jaw. And that's usually the end of the story.
I wish if I had my way, I'd just go around smacking people I don't like. But it's not good for work. I hope and pray. I'm like, man, I hope this guy does something. I love to put my foot up his ass. So I could only sit there and hope he crossed the line.
Hi everyone, welcome to my bouncer stories from Mexico. You guys have been requested these videos, so I'm gonna start from the very beginning. Okay, first of all, so you guys understand also why I became a bouncer. Okay, I always had the curiosity about what it would be like to step on the ring or even become a bouncer, like Dalton and Roadhouse, for example. And when my mom left my dad, she actually started dating a bouncer, so I heard them talking a lot about his job. He was a Mexican bouncer. And my dad was an airline pilot, you know, and when I grew up, I was home a lot with my mom, and my dad wasn't around a lot, obviously, you know, and but my dad was quite wealthy, actually more than a normal pilot would be, but I'll get into that in another video, to the point that I actually lived in a private beach. I lived in an apartment complex with a private beach under it overlooking Acapulco Bay. So I lived pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And but I had conflicts with my dad. He got angry at me over some things and he kicked me out of my house. Now that said, a few months prior to that, I had competed in an MMA tournament. That, you know, a lot of people knew I competed. A lot of people went and watched the tournament. Me and my partner that I trained with, Chava, we were the only two that competed in that MMA tournament that were representing Taekwondo. So people knew me from that tournament. I broke the guy's nose with a head kick. I low kicked him. Does kickboxing, so then I head kicked him with the left leg in the nose, broke his nose. And, you know, I was known for that basically. That was a few months before my dad decided to kick me out of my house. He took my credit card. He took my the car keys to my car, which was actually his car, of course, and the keys to the apartment, and he kicked me out. And then I was forced to go live with a friend temporarily. And then I had to obviously get a job because, you know, I was working on and off. Like I was doing like small-time modeling gigs, small-time acting gigs here and there, but I was really not actually working. I was doing a lot of training and going to tournaments and that type of stuff. But I was also doing a lot of partying, you know. I was a young kid. I was like 19 years old, you know. So almost turning 20. And basically I turned 20 pretty much shortly after he kicked me out. And because of this, you know, someone, you know, asked me straight up, you know, when they knew I was looking for a job, they were like, you know, they need a bouncer in Disco Beach. Don't you want to be a bouncer? I mean, and then I thought about it. Like it just came to me. I didn't look for it, you know. I was trying to find a job, but they offered me the bouncer job. So, you know, I took it. And then Disco Beach is a club in Mexico where in the daytime anyone can go in there because all this stuff like the couches, whatever, they're like made out of cement and they're installed on the floor, the tables too. So they have like this bodega where they put everything, like a storage where they put everything, and it has like a metal door. So everything that can be stolen is put in there. So anyone can access from the main road down those stairs to the beach. And in the upstairs part, there's a bar. In the street part, there's a bar, and there's these stairs that go down that take you to the club. So basically, when I first started, I worked with two other guys. One guy had like 6 months kickboxing experience, just training, not fighting, with my instructor. But he had also 6 months experience working at the door. So he had been doing those two like simultaneously, let's say. And there was a second guy that had just been hired, just like me, like it was his first day. It was both of our first days. So on my first day, they had us doing like rounds in the bottom of the club. We go up and we do rounds. We go up and we do rounds. And the other guy, the bigger guy, the guy that did kickboxing, the guy that was already there 6 months, he was by the door where they placed me later, by the entrance. But there's like a chain in the street, and that's how you get in. And then once you pay, you go down those stairs. Basically, we're doing our rounds, and we were just standing there chilling, and we were just talking, which, you know, we weren't really paying attention. We were both newbies, you know. Then the waiter rolled up. He's like, hey, they're fighting. They're about to fight. Security, security. So I was like, oh, here we go, you know. First fight ever in a club. So that we broke up. So we go down there, and we didn't know who to grab, what to do. And then the waiter's like, that guy started it, right? So then the guy that I was with grabbed the guy from behind him, went around from behind him, grabbed him from both arms like this. And I just wanted to do something. I didn't know what to do, so I just wanted to grab him to do something. So I grabbed his shirt like that. So he had him like that, and I was grabbing him by his shirt.
So let's walk him out. We're walking him out?
We're taking him out, but now the challenging part is we got to take him up these stairs because we're not allowed to throw him out by the beach. We had to take him out the front. So that was the challenge, getting him up the stairs, because the guy started kicking the stairs.
We don't want a lawsuit, so I don't even all marked up. Okay?
We're going back this way. We started roughing him up a little bit.
Show him a little love. Like that. Make sure nobody saw it, okay?
But not too much, you know, a knee here, an elbow there, whatever. Just
Okay. Maybe a headbutt. All right. Got that? Got it. I got it. All right. Okay. Good. Okay. You fellas follow me there? Yeah.
just to get him to budge. He still wouldn't budge. To make that whole story and the stairs a little shorter, we basically ended up dragging him up by his feet.
You're too stupid to have a good time.
You know, kind of like how Dalton drags out that dude in the scene down the stairs, but we were dragging him up the stairs. So he's like, his head is hitting the stairs when we. Finally, we're getting to the top. He somehow was turned halfway, so his head wasn't anymore facing down or facing up. It was like this. He was laying down like that, and we ended up slamming him a few times because he really didn't want to let us bring him up. Once we got him all the way up, the guard from upstairs opened the chain, and here's where I overdid it. And keep in mind, guys, I was a newbie. I had no training for security, nothing. I just started working there because I had an MMA fight, you know. And basically, I gave him 2 punches in the back of the head right here. I gave him 2, boom. Gave him 2, boom, boom. Gave him 2, boom, boom. And then we pushed him, and he fell outside on the street, you know, and
the rewards are certainly there.
Did you see that? Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be done.
of course everybody that was there saw it. And the wife of the owner was like tripping. She's saying, oh, the white guy, you know, you roughed him up. He was already roughed up, and then he roughed him up some more. You hit him behind the head. It wasn't necessary, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, you know. And then basically the owner that same day, and then he realized who I was. He didn't really know who I was because the manager hired me. He asked who I was. I think he wanted to get rid of me right at the spot. But the manager told him, no, you know. I overheard him say, you know, his dad is such and such, he is such and such, he speaks English, he had an MMA fight, you know, we need him, you know. Spring break is coming, and they did need me. They didn't have anyone else that spoke English, so he like thought about it. He's like, oh shit, okay. And then he put me by the door, so he replaced me with the guy that was there for 6 months, which he didn't like at all. You know, I was like this close to getting fired, but I almost got promoted because they put me by the door. But he put me there because there he could keep an eye on me. And if anything did happen there with the cashier and everything, then he knows, oh, this guy can actually fight better than the other guy. So he replaced me, especially when he knew I was a black belt and I'd been doing it my whole life. And the other guy had only been lifting weights. And he was big and everything, but he'd only been lifting weights and done kickboxing for 6 months. And he...
I want to lose weight because I know the less weight you carry, the faster you are. But these new breed of Dorman, they're pumping steroids into them and they're getting larger. And if they can get 23, 24 stone, they're over the moon.
He was not like bigger than me per se. We were around the same height, but he was just like a lot heavier, you know, and a lot more muscle.
Well, size don't mean nothing to me anymore. Yeah. Because I'm in this game a long time. Our reputation speaks for itself.
What about there's a fight, it takes them 3 weeks to put their hands up. The new breed of Dorman are what you call posers. They look good. But then when it goes off, where are they? In the corner, looking good.
I'm 227 right now. 227 is gonna turn into 350 pounds, okay? Moving, boom.
And basically, that was it for like the first fight. You know, I don't really consider those kind of things fights because they're almost not really fighting back. You know, you're just throwing them out.
He put his teeth right in my back, and I was like, I felt excruciating pain because I felt him bite me. And then I just went over and I felt the hair, and I grabbed him down. I pulled him, and I started beating the shit out of him. And then after that, we threw them all out. But I made sure I messed them up before I threw them out.
Bouncers are not primarily allowed to hit no one. We're only allowed to restrain someone and carry them out of the premises. That's it, bottom line. So someone who brings in emotions into the job is wrong.
But I'll give you guys a second one because, you know, after being up there, spring break started, and then I had my second fight, which was up there. It was a dude that was already inside the club. Now, keep in mind, in this club, when you go in and pay, you get a stamp. Just for paying, you get a stamp. So this guy left, you know, open the thing for him. He left. It was a Mexican guy, local from Acapulco. And he comes back, tries to get back in, you know, like right away. Like, I think he changed his mind. I don't know what he was thinking. He went out and he looked like he was thinking something, and he came back. And I was like, your stamp, dude. Show me your stamp. And then he's like, well, give me one. I just left. I was like, nah, dude, you get one when you pay. If you came in and paid, you should have a stamp, fool. And he's like, no, you know, I never got one, you know, this is BS, you know. And then he started to try to say that it washed off. So I was like, which one is it? You never got one or it washed off, you know? It's just, we started arguing. I was like, nah, you're not getting in, you know. I looked over at the owner and he didn't even look back at me. So I already knew that then I'm doing it right if he's not really like bugging in or giving me a look. So basically he took off, he left, but he got halfway and then came back a second time. But this time he came like that and he took one step forward and did this. So at that point, you know, I had the chain right here at like this high, so I basically did a side kick. I side kicked him right when he was coming like that. He was already trying to swing. So I let him have it here, boom. He falls half, like, well, he fell, but he was trying to get back up. And I immediately, with the kick, went over the chain and just kept going. Like, I didn't stop. I went on, like, attack mode, you know? And I leg kicked him twice as he's trying to get up. And the third kick might have hit him in the lower back because he was getting up. And then as I'm giving him those kicks, basically your hand is here. So you're kicking this way, your hand is here. So I gave him one more on this side of the head. And he basically fell forward on the curve and almost hit the street. He was, like, on the side of the curve. And the big bouncer, the big guy, went and grabbed me like he was saving the day, you know. He grabbed me and he's looking at him like, yeah, I got him. And he told me, calm down. I'm like, dude, I'm calm. Just because I'm beating someone up doesn't mean I'm not calm, you know. I was calm. I wasn't, like, angry or nothing. I was just reacting to him. That's it. You know, the thing about when you do martial arts, you can actually be calm while you're in a fight.
Go overboard, like we might overbeat the guy, you know, but sometimes it's just you can't help it. Yeah. You can't help it because you're so angry. You just want to kill us, bastard.
As soon as there was trouble, I would turn in a second from a nice guy to a raving lunatic.
It's impossible to kick my ass because in order to kick my ass, you gotta be willing to die. And I don't think anybody gets dressed at night and goes out to a club to die. Once you start me off, there's no end. Exhaustion doesn't set in, pain, it's irrelevant to me. I'm just a machine.
Regular people can't do that. I'll tell you guys a funny extra. A guy in LA actually knocked out himself, a guy that I worked with. I seen it, man. The guy knocked himself out. He was beating up a guy, but he wasn't breathing. He was like... And then another guy came up, he hit him, and then at some point, dude, he knocked both of them out. At some point, he went down. Boom. Well, why did he get knocked out? Because he was holding his breath. His eyes had I think a vein burst in his eye or something. He had like a bloodshot eyes on one side. So he didn't know martial arts, but he'd been in a lot of street fights, and he used to carry a revolver in his leg. He was the only one at the club at the time in LA that used to conceal carry a revolver because he had a permit for that, even for the street. So yeah, I mean, that's just an example. Some bouncers don't know martial arts and they don't know how to breathe, or when they fight, they're actually angry. You know, they're taking out like childhood frustrations and shit that they haven't dealt with. That's not the case with me or with other martial artists that work doors that I've met. You know, that you can actually be calm. And
Pass mal auf, meine Mutter ist versorgt. Das heißt, du kannst mich nicht ficken, ich bin ein Hetero. Das kannst du nicht. Das geht nicht. Ich bin nicht schwul. Hör mal zu, ich kann nicht umgehen. Was du gehst nicht? Wieso gehst du nicht? Das hab ich schon mal gesehen. Ich glaube, ich bin dein Bruder, oder? Welcher Bruder? Was für ein Bruder? Du hast ja schon Marschplatz gemacht. Ich hab noch nie in meinem Leben Schiss gemacht. Was mache ich nicht los? Dein Bruder heißt doch Rami, oder? Woher kennst du meinen Bruder? Ja, mein Bruder heißt Rami. Muss nicht unbedingt Rami sein. Rami, ich hab seine Nummer. Ich kann ihn anrufen. Was denkst du, was dein Bruder mit dir macht? Ja, weißt du, wer ich bin? Wer bist du? Dein Bruder habe ich trainiert. Wer bist du? Wie benimmst du dich? So kommst du in keinen Laden rein, wenn du dich so benimmst. In keinen Laden. Wer bist du? Micha Kur bin ich. Bist du Micha Kur? Das ist mein Bruder. Den ruf ich jetzt an, weißt du, was der mit dir macht? Du musst doch nicht jetzt unbedingt meinen Bruder rufen. Okay, dann musst du, pass auf, mit diesem Verhalten wirst du in keinen Club irgendwo hier in Berlin reinkommen. Das geht nicht. Du hast dich zu benehmen, was soll das? Hast du betrunken oder was? Wenn ich meinen Bruder anrufe, der wird dir wahrscheinlich richtig in die Arschfasse rufen. Ja, der kann doch nicht. Das ist doch jetzt... Das verstehst du alles. Du kannst dich bei mir entschuldigen, aber dann kannst du gehen, ich rufe deinen Bruder nicht an. Ja, ist okay. Aber nicht normal, das ist scheiße. Ja, ist okay.
Kursdevise lautet, reden mit.
and just do enough and not overdo, you know. This is not the case with the stories I just told you guys now, of course, but you know, I was just starting then. I was 20 years old. I was super excited. I just wanted to see action, and I shouldn't have done those extra things. Like that side kick would have been enough. The guy wasn't armed. I didn't need to do 2 low kicks and then a punch. Like I just wanted to, you know, rough someone up. I mean, I'll just admit it, you know. It's I'll just be honest with these stories, you know. Later on, as time went by, of course, I changed. I mean, I didn't even have papers, and you know, now like in Holland, I'm certified as a bouncer. I took the exams. It's like national exams. Everyone does them. Anyone who's private security, this includes you know, people in malls, stores, bouncers, even people who transport money, you know, money transport security. They also have this. Even prison guards have this. So anyone who does private security has it. This distinguishes what you are. That you're not law enforcement, and you're not the police. Because here you have law enforcement, police and security. Law enforcement is like in between. It's not really police. It's not really security. It's in between. They have police-like powers, but they're not cops. But they're not security either. They can arrest you though. They have cuffs and all that. Yeah, basically here I'm certified, and in Mexico I'm a head instructor for a security company. So now I'm also certified there. I have like a permit, a badge. I can carry, you know, I can be armed and all that type of stuff over there. But at the time then, I didn't. Like in Mexico, that's not a thing, you know. Like clubs can just hire anyone they want for security, just like in the States. It's not like you have to be certified or whatever. You know, here in Holland you do. Like if you have a V like this, like a badge like this at the club, and you're not certified, you can get in trouble. You know, if the cops show up and there's a fight or something, and they ask you for your pass, you have to show it to them. If you don't have a pass, you're not allowed to wear this. So if people see this, they understand that you don't have a criminal record probably, and you basically certified. You studied, you know. Most of the security courses take like a year and a half.
Let's have a look then at just what we call the escort position.
Bouncers here is not really a course that
my fingers are on the inside.
It's simpler because
of the lower part of the arm.
Because they expect you to already know the techniques and know how to fight.
Or the hand. It doesn't matter which side of the body we go to. I can go left or I can go right. I got crazy upstairs, you know, you can't do that shit in my house. It's my church, I'm God in here. You gotta do the right thing or you get thrown out exactly like that.
Because they expect you to already know the techniques and know how to fight. So we're kind of different. We're a different breed than the other security guards. We also make more money.
Maar deze is wat korter in verband met schoppen, trappen, rennen. Dan kan je wat makkelijker bewegen, weet je wel. En ook met het eventueel slaan, dan kom je makkelijker uit de voeten. Ik ben zelf Orfeo. Van beroep ben ik portier. Ik ben eigenlijk per ongeluk ingerold. Weet je wel, we waren samen aan het trainen en hij zegt, ja, wie moet een keer met me helpen aan de deur te staan. En ik had er eerst zoiets van, wat moet ik nou bij de deur gaan doen, weet je wel. Voor jouzelf, om jou te beschermen, om de mensen toch ook te beschermen, om een klap te kunnen krijgen. En ook een klap eventueel te kunnen geven.
Ja, kijk hem over.
Weet je wel, ja, want soms heb je dat gewoon. Dat als je in een gevecht komt, ja, en de situatie is zo erg dat het bedreigend is voor jouzelf, moet je zelf ook kunnen verdedigen. Om ervan te leren, ja. Natuurlijk maak je wel eens verkeerde inschattingen, maar...
It doesn't matter which side of the body we go to.
Je moet wel achter je punt blijven staan. Weet je, soms zet je de verkeerde buiten. Het is niet anders. Het is een keuze wat je op dat moment hebt gemaakt en daar sta je dan ook achter.
We also make more money, even though we only have to study a book, 2 books. And then we do a test, like a multiple choice test, and then we do a test with an actor, where we do an acted scene and they record it.
Mi marido me engaña, por favor, ayúdeme, no, no, déjame, cálmate, cállate, ya, deja pasar a la señorita, usted cállese la boca.
It gets sent somewhere, and then they see if they pass you on both the written exams and the acting exam, which is 2. You know, you get a score on both of those, and then if you pass those, you get your diploma, but it doesn't enter. After you get your diploma, you have to get an okay from the chief of police of where you're working, and he authorizes you a blue pass so that you can stand at the door. If you have a diploma, but you don't get authorization from the chief of police to stand at the door, you still can't stand at the door legally. So at least not with a V. You can stand at the door as a host, which shows that you don't have the training, which is then it's like more limited what you can do. Some places choose to take that route, but most decide to go for an actual guard that has a V and that's certified, you know. Mexico not the case, the States not the case. Some places they actually get people who have courses, but it varies. In Holland, it's the same course nationally, and it's the same insignia nationally for everyone. So those are kind of the differences, and we make more money than the cops and more money than all the other security guards. So bouncers making between $20 to $30, euros an hour or more, at least. And you know, a lot of the other security guards, they pay them 10, 9, 8, and we may also make tips, of course, depending on what club we're at. Also, the police gets paid a lot less than that. They get paid around the same as normal security guards. Like, it's not that different. But we actually get paid more than everybody else. So here's actually a country where bouncers get paid according to their job. That's a plus side. Negative side is out here, you know, the law's not always on your side. You cannot carry any weapons at all. You don't carry handcuffs. So if you arrest someone, you have to pin him to the ground and wait for the cops to get there. Which makes it super difficult if you have to arrest two people. How are you going to pin down two people by yourself? You know, for example, if you're standing at a door alone. See, in the States, if you have two pair of cuffs and you manage to cuff them both, you can then wait for the cops. Or in Mexico, same thing. But here, you can't do that. It's like almost impossible, you know? You're going to have to let one go to just grab one if you don't have a partner. So there's like, you know, minor differences, but I'll get into those in some other video. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, I'll keep making one every week. And till the next video, guys. Catch you later.
If looks can kill, because I have that like that real mean looking face. I'll be like there, like this here, you know? Yeah. And I'll be like, man, I ain't messing with him, boy.
When people come in and they look as if they're going to be causing trouble, we usually might approach them and just give them the eye so that they know we know that they're in. And usually that is enough to keep them down.
If good guys come in and pleasant guys come in, you... Hello, good evening, thank you. Good evening, sir, thank you. Have a nice night. Now, when the guys come in who want to be tough guys, then there's a different look. You want to see that look?